Chair, isa po ko sa mga sinampahan niya ng kaso. Biktima rin po ako ng alpha-assistant. Former OFW po ako from Taiwan.
Meron ho ba kayong sama ng loob dito kay Consul General?
Sinampahan niya po kami ng kaso.
Sino pa nagsampa ng kaso sa inyo? Si Consul? Oh, Consul, teka muna, biktima na nga, tapos sasampaw pa ng kaso. Damn! What's wrong with you, sir?
When the two whistleblowers asked me to see them, ma'am, they presented to us several documents. So,
Teka muna, Senator Riza, hindi
Yes,
ko
Mr.
matiis
Chair.
na hindi ko po nahinto, meron tayong naiyak na resource person dito. Habang nagsasalita si Consul General Cato, umiyak siya. Ma'am, ba't kayo umiyak habang sasalita po si Consul General? Natutuwa ba kayo sa sinasabi niya o nainis kayo?
Your Chair, isa po ko sa mga sinampahan niya ng kaso. Biktima rin po ako ng alpha-assistant. Former OFW po ako from Taiwan. Nangarap lang naman po ako para sa pamilya ko. Pero bakit?
Okay. Meron ho ba kayong sama ng loob dito kay Consul General? Elmer
Wala
Cato?
po. Wala po.
Oh.
Sinampahan niya po kami ng kaso.
Sino pa nagsampa ng kaso sa inyo? Si Consul? Oh, Consul, teka muna, biktima na nga, tapos sasampaw pa ng kaso. Damn! What's wrong with you, sir? Pilipino ka, di ba, sir?
sir, there were false accusations made against me, and they were the ones being quoted. But I've talked to them, and I was told that the statements that were published in the newspapers were not theirs.
Okay.
So they were being quoted as saying that I did not act on the complaints they brought to my attention.
Sabi ka nun.
Oh, yun po, sir.
pero
But that's in the newspaper.
ano pong pinahal niyo ng kaso laban sa kanya? Ano pong pinahal sa inyo?
They were included in the cyber libel suit I filed against the Daily Tribune last week, sir.
But were they the ones who cyber libeled you?
No, sir. They were the ones who were quoted as saying that I did not act on their complaints, which was impossible because they were here in the Philippines. So, yung gusto lang naman po namin malaman sa kanila is just for them to share with us the truth, and we could amend the complaint naman po.
September pa po kami. Humingi ng tulong sa Daily Tribune. Ganon din po yung Daily Tribune. Hiningan po siya ng side.
Kasi kanina po na saksihan nating lahat, umiyak si Miss Vanessa, lumuha din si Miss Apple, hindi ko alam kung sa parehong dahilan. Pero if I'm not mistaken, Conjen Cato, may sinisimulan kayong banggitin na pwede namang i-modify yung kaso, or if that was the term used. Kasi pambihira pong hinaharap po nilang problema, naghahabol ng hustisya sa ninakaw na pera sa kanila para humarap din sa, hindi po maliit na bagay ang isang dating OFW humarap sa kaso mula sa isang diplomat ng ating gobyerno. So is there, if it's not improper, Mr. Chair, is there any way na
before you answer that,
Salamat, Mr. Chair.
we don't even have to ask, we don't even have to beg from
I'm just following up, Mr.
Conjet.
Chair,
Yeah, that's
not
okay,
begging.
Senator Risa,
Opo,
I
Mr.
see what
Chair.
you're coming from.
Salamat po, Mr. Chair.
Tutulungan kita. Ako magbibigay sa'yo ng lawyer. Labanan natin. I'll fight for you. I'll fight for you.
Your Chairman, may apply po kasi ako pabalik ng Taiwan. Ngayon po, ay naalala ko po yung NBI clearance ko. Hindi po ako makakakuha kung may pending case po ako.
Meron ba na-issue warrant?
Wala pa po.
Then dapat di makialam mo ng NBI. Let's go to the NBI. NBI? Nandito ba NBI? Okay. Wala pang na-issue warrant. Bakit matatranish agad yung image at hindi siya mabibigyan ng clearance?
Sir, kasi wala pang resolution yung case po, pwedeng mag-reflect doon sa NBI clearance niya.
Even na hindi pa naiakyat sa judge yung kaso, nasa fiscal level pa lang?
Meron po yun na nagre-reflect po yun doon. Pero pwede naman sigurong kung may resolution or whatever, pwede pong
Mr. Chair,
dismiss na. Opo.
in relation to the point being raised to Ma'am Olga, yun po, baka the ball is still in the court of the good congen. Is it even possible, Mr. Chair, na i-atras nila yung kaso? If it's not improper to ask po,
Yes, ma'am.
may atras po yung kaso
Madam
laban
Chair.
sa mga OFW.
Hindi kasi para sa akin, magkakaroon pa ng utang na loob yung OFW. Wala naman siyang kasalanan kung tutusin.
Di naman po
As
siguro,
a
Mr.
former
Chair.
OFW rin po, ma'am, it was really so hard for me to include them in the complaint. But as mentioned earlier, the allegations of inaction against me and the consulate were traced to the three of them, Ms. Cabasis, Ms. Antonio, and Mr. Catillo. So nag-usap po kami ni Ms. Apple, and sabi ko, just come up with a sworn statement and tell the truth. Kung hindi mo pala sinabi na nagharap tayo, bakit yun nakalabas sa dyaryo na hindi ko raw po inasikaso, busy daw po ako. Pero how could that happen, Mr. Chair, when they are here in the Philippines, I'm there in Milan? So yun po yung basis ng cyber libel case.
So, Conjen, Mr. Chair, kung hindi pag-atras, pero saan po papunta yung mga salita nyo kanina na a possible modification? And not, as the Chair
As
correctly
soon
points
as,
out,
as
not, Conjen, as a matter of utang na loob, but as a
Opo.
matter of
Sabihin lang po yung
justice and
totoo.
fairness sa mga
Bigay lang po yung
OFW.
sworn statement that they did not issue the statements attributed to them by the Tribune na negligent po ako, and okay na po yun.
Okay, then, babalik tayo dito sa Tribune muna. Okay, Attorney Ferdinand Topacio, yung legal counsel, in-house counsel ng Daily Tribune. Okay, with the indulgence of Senator Risa, sis nandito yung Daily Tribune para tuloy-tuloy tayo, hindi na mapatid doon sa hearing ito. Meron ba representative dito yung Daily Tribune? Okay, Ma'am Maria Bettina
Yes, Your
Hernandez.
Honor. Good afternoon, Mr. Chair, Vice Chair, and the other senators. Would you mind to allow me to read our opening statement? Just to put things in its proper context. I'm sorry, I'm sick, so I have to come here. So we'd like to thank Senator Raffy Tulfo, Chairman of this committee, as well as the Vice Chair, Senator Risa, Senator Go, Senator JV, and other members of this committee for the invitation. When we started broadcasting about the subject of today's inquiry, we are only motivated by the highest purpose of the journalistic profession to which we belong. Kasama ka doon dati, Conjen Cato. And that is to quote film director Joshua Oppenheimer, to uncover vital new information in the public interest and to put that information in a context so that we can use it to improve the human condition. When we first interviewed Conjen Cato in Daily Tribune's online show, Usapang OFW, last September 7, nasa YouTube po yan, mainly regarding an earthquake that occurred in Italy around that time, simply to inform the public about the condition of our OFWs there. Little did we know that certain complaints from our workers, which were mentioned merely as an incident, would open a can of worms. Thereafter, or on September 21, 2023, we then interviewed a number of OFWs in relation to the alleged illegal recruitment activities of a company called Alpha Assistencia SRL, or Alpha for short, for what the OFWs claimed were non-existent jobs in Italy. Since we had interviewed Conjen Cato previously, we tried to reach out to him, sir, right after the show, to endorse the complaints to him, but to no avail. Concept and Tribune President Willie Fernandez noticed our predicament and offered to contact Mr. Cato. But it was only after a mutual friend who acted as intermediary that the Consul General responded. Ginost niya po kami. In the meantime, since the number of complainants ballooned after the broadcast, the Daily Tribune coordinated with the Department of Justice and Secretary Jesus Crispin Remulla immediately scheduled a meeting with the complainants. The following week po yun, sir. The Daily Tribune also got in touch with the Department of Migrant Workers. Andito po siya, COIC Hans Kakdak. Kasi ho, to extend help to the supposed victims. These efforts were made not for anything else, Conjen Cato, but due to a sense of public service that is but natural to any media organization, as after all, we exist primarily to serve the needs of the public and as some sort of court of last resort when other remedies have failed. Of all people, Your Honorable Chairman, you know this, as your television and radio show has helped thousands of people attain redress for various grievances. Being a news organization, we have always adhered to the principle of fair reporting. With all humility, this is the reason why the Daily Tribune was chosen, konting yabang, as newspaper of the year for the years 2017, 2021, and 2023 by the Rotary Club of Manila, the oldest Rotary Club of Asia. We have never been parsimonious with the opportunity to air both sides of the story. Unlike nung sinabi mo dun sa libel case mo, Conjen Cato. As in fact, not only did we wholeheartedly entertain a certain Jeffrey Villalon, he's not here, who held himself out as a marketing director of Alpha Assistenza in order to get his side of the story. Nagpunta po siya sa amin, hindi ho namin siya hinanap. In response to messages from Conjen Cato, lagi ho siya nagtitext sa amin. We advised him, being a friend, to issue an official statement, as he refused to be interviewed in order to clear the air, so to speak. All of these things can be proven and are documented. As a matter of course, however, the Daily Tribune must exhibit fealty to its duty to disseminate news and information without fear, without favor, as our masthead defines. Thus, the news stories that referred Conjen Cato as supposedly having close ties with Alpha and purportedly sitting on the complaints. In the meantime,
Pero po, ma'am, may I interrupt? So, meron ka ebidensya na meron siyang close tie sa Alpha? Do you have
yes sir,
proof?
yung pong mga complainants at saka po yung si Jeffrey Villalon ang nag-disclose nung relationship in relation to the video na una yung pinakita dyan. Siya ho ang nagbigay
So,
sa
yung
amin
video
yan.
showing na kasama po siya doon sa affairs na sponsored ng Alpha.
Sir, yun po mga postings ng mga tao at saka yung mga complainants na lumabas at nagpa-interview na rin.
Okay. Gusto ko lang ma-add, Mr. Cato, yeah, yung sinasabi niya na fair po yung Tribune. And I attest to that kasi recently, nasulat po ako sa Tribune, and then when I send them a letter, I reach out to them, sinulat naman yung side ko. So, dapat, nung nag-reach out sila sa inyo, pinakinggan nyo, nakipag-usap kayo, patas naman tong Tribune eh. Diba? Yun yung pagkakamali nyo. Tinabla nyo sila. Eh ngayon, pumunta sila sa ibang agency at tinulungan sila, lumaking issue. Kasi kung from the first moment, ganun kami sa media eh. The first moment na nag-reach out ang media sa inyo para kunin ang inyong side, sumagot kayo, huwag kayo matakot, bagkus matuwa kayo kasi kinukuha ang side nyo. May mga ibang media entities na, hindi ko alam, hindi ko magbabangkit, siguro yung mga hindi kilala. Titirahin ka ng titirahin, hindi kukunin yung side mo. Pasalamat ka, pag kinukuha yung side mo, dapat matuwa ka, magbunyi kayo. Kayong lahat nasa gobyerno, kapag tinawagan kayo ng media para kunan kayo ng reaksyon, kunin yung side ninyo, matuwa kayo. Ibig sabihin, fair yung media entity na yan. Yun lang po. Go ahead po, continue, Ma'am Fernandez.
To continue your chair. In the meantime, some 70 or so complainants have formally submitted affidavits to the DOJ in relation to the same matter. So, for resolution na po yung kaso. This only goes to show that the subject of the news stories are legitimate matters of public concern. Thereafter, to use a cliche, the rest is history. Nandito po kami ngayon at kami po ay may libel case. The story blew up in all media platforms to such an extent and intensity that it has warranted an inquiry from the Senate. Ayan. In the midst of all the hula-baloo, the role of the
Ma'am,
Daily
gaano pa
Tribune...
kahaba po yan?
Sir, 1 minute na lang, sir.
Okay.
The role of the Daily Tribune has been, as it always is, to deliver to the public information on matters of public concern without any bias or slant. Just the facts. These not only are avowed mission, but our sacred duty as members of media, the so-called fourth estate. Thank you once again. We're now ready for your questions.